Moses is the energy within the body that carries the soul, which is photon, from the left hemisphere place of bondage to the right hemisphere place of God. The story follows the biblical revelation message of the seven seals and the Eastern Kundalini. The story also shows the correction of mutant DNA, opening a path to a new life form. Now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. Here we see the Moses energy within you connected with the 7 daughters, which are the 7 chakras. Moses comes to the backside of the desert and finds the mountain of God. The backside of the mountain refers to the human spine. At the top of the mountain, which is an allegory for the human spine, is the pineal gland, which the Moses energy, the rising energy, lights or symbolically puts on fire. In other words, when the Kundalini energy begins to rise up the spine, Moses is climbing the mountain. When the energy gets to the top of the spine, or symbolically the mountain, it lights the pineal gland. It symbolically sets it on fire. The energy rises up the spine through the 7 seals and lights the pineal gland. Moses' rod becoming a serpent, comparing to the spine becoming the winding electrical energy called Kundalini. For Moses, he is with the 7 daughters, comes to the mountain at the backside of the desert, and what does he find? And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush, and he looked, and the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. The burning bush, the pineal gland, is the burning bush that is going to give instructions concerning freeing you from the bondage of the left side or carnal mind. Moses at the backside of the desert, the mountain of God, rising up to the burning bush, is mythological for us going into meditation and allowing the energy to rise up the spine to the pineal gland. And he said, "Draw not nigh hither, put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place whereon you stand is holy ground." Take your shoes off means that nothing that touches the earth can come into God's presence. In meditation, the earth is the lower mind, the carnal mind. When you separate from the thoughts of the lower mind, you are taking your shoes off to come into God's presence. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land, and a large, flowing with milk and honey. Milk and honey refers to brain sugar, which is galactose. Galactose is a milky, sugary substance, which means being lifted to a higher state of consciousness. God had instructed Moses to cast down his rod, and when he did, it became a serpent. Compare that with the Hindu teachings to enter into meditation and separate from the physical. This causes the human spine to be host to the coiled serpent Kundalini.